The moment I had been dreading finally arrived. My husband, who has tormented me endlessly, and his ever-judgmental mother have moved in. I can't even count the number of tears I've shed and the times I've been hurt. Despite it all, I've held on, trying my best to fulfill my role as a wife and homemaker. But my husband never seemed to care about my struggles. He even decided to move his mother into our home without consulting me. "Is your mom all moved in?" I asked. "Of course she is," he replied. "Well, here's the thing. She's settled in, and in fact, I just finished moving back to my parents' home." "Wait, what? Your parents' place?" His voice over the phone was tinged with panic. I could tell he hadn't seen this coming. "But don't think it ends here. I owe you for all the pain you've caused me. My name is Eleanor, a 44-year-old homemaker. I met Raymond at a party when I was 20, and we instantly clicked. Just 3 months later, he confessed his feelings, and we started dating. A year later, as I turned 21, he asked, 'Will you marry me?' A year after our marriage, I became pregnant, and our first son was born. I thought I would have the fairy tale life I had dreamed of during my school days, but life wasn't that simple. 'Hey, is dinner ready yet? Did you make the bed?' That's what Raymond always says when he comes home from work. I sometimes wonder if he thinks of me just as a maid. 'I'm sorry, I got a bit tied up. I'll get everything ready now,' I said, trying to keep my voice steady. Seriously, don't you think about how tired I am after work? I deal with so much stress to provide for our family. And remember, I'm a manager. Raymond would always start ranting about his job whenever things didn't go his way, making snide remarks. He wasn't like this when we first got married. People often ask if I'm okay with how he behaves. Of course, I'm not. It's unbearable. But honestly, I do appreciate that he brings in the money. Thanks to Raymond's good salary, we've never had financial troubles. But imagine if I challenged him and he retorted, 'You're defying me.' Fine, I'll stop contributing to the house then. I wouldn't know what to do. So even if he says a bit much sometimes, I try to tolerate it, though I wish I could say it was always easy. But with the way Raymond's been acting lately, even that tolerance is strained. Like the other day, he ranted, 'Why aren't the clothes dry? You didn't even use the dryer, did you? I told you before I like my clothes feeling cozy. They need to be fluffy from the dryer.' I had a lot on my plate with shopping and chores, so I didn't get to the dryer. That's not the point. I work hard every day, but what about you? Aren't you a homemaker? Shouldn't you have time for at least this?" Raymond never does household chores. He believes that's the wife's job. Just because I'm a homemaker doesn't mean I always have free time. I wish he'd help out a little. It was the same story when our child was born. Always some excuse about being busy or tired from work. So I've done all the household and childcare duties by myself. But there's another source of stress. My mother-in-law. "Eleanor, did you clean this properly? And what are you planning for dinner tonight? Surely not some takeaway." Whenever my mother-in-law visits, she's always like this. She constantly looks for my mistakes and never hesitates to criticize. Both mother and son act similarly. Like they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And today she started again. "Eleanor, how many times have I told you to clean the house every day to make it comfortable for my son? Why don't you? Are you ignoring my advice on purpose? This is why I was against my son marrying someone like you. You can't even manage the house properly. Just looking at you infuriates me." Constant criticism from Raymond and my mother-in-law. I endure it all with a smile. But there's one thing I just can't overlook: my mother-in-law's gambling habit. Whenever she has the chance, she's playing poker, slot machines, roulette, or craps. She just loves to gamble and spends all her money in the blink of an eye. Worse still, she laughs about it, and Raymond just laughs along with her. Hold on a second. Whose money do you think you're using? The money my mother-in-law spends on gambling comes from our household savings. I've brought this up to Raymond multiple times, but he just brushes it off. "Hey, could you tell Mom? I mean, I could tell her, but if I do, I think she'd be really shocked. Plus, I'm so busy with work." I don't think I can discuss it calmly. He always comes up with these excuses and never asks. So I decide to convey Raymond's message to my mother-in-law for him. "Why can't a mother use the money her son earns?" "He told me I can use as much as I want," she retorted, thinking that Raymond would back me up. I say Raymond feels the same way. "Could you please stop using our household savings without asking?" "Right, honey." But Raymond interjects, "What are you talking about? The household savings are for all three of us, excluding only Mom." Is she wrong? Sorry, Mom. Don't listen to her, she's lying. You can use the money as you always have. This is how Raymond always changes his story depending on who he's talking to. Moreover, he started blaming me for my mother-in-law's gambling habits, saying they worsened after we got married 3 months ago. That's just not true. Even before our marriage, my mother-in-law was gambling frequently. Whenever I went shopping, I'd see her coming out of the local poker club. But when I bring this up to Raymond, he accuses me of lying and then ignores the issue. He'll never see his mother's true colors. These remarks keep coming, and I'm getting fed up. Oh, look at the time. I should get going. Wait, Mom, you didn't forget about our plan, right? How are the preparations? Yes, they're well underway. What plan? What are these two up to? I'm taken aback by Raymond's sudden question and try to figure out their scheme. With that, my mother-in-law, humming a tune, leaves in high spirits. At last, she's gone. I think to myself. I look over, and Raymond is grinning from ear to ear, waving until his mother's out of sight. A week later, I finally understood the meaning behind Raymond's words about preparations. Have a good day, I say, but there's only a slam as usual. Raymond leaves for work without responding to my farewell. While most couples would greet each other with smiles, that warmth is long gone between us. I gaze out the window and see a neighboring family looking so happy as they walk by. I remember the days when my son and I used to go for walks just like that. Lost in my thoughts in the morning, the doorbell rings. Yes, who is it? Oh, it's you, mother-in-law. Wait, where's Raymond? I wasn't expecting her to show up today, especially not this early in the morning. Oh, something came up at his work, so he had to go in unexpectedly. I see. Why on earth is she here? She's not expecting to have breakfast with me, is she? No way she would think of doing that, or would she? A flurry of thoughts about my mother-in-law raced through my mind. Then she says, "Why are you standing there looking so blank? Get things ready." Ready for what? I haven't eaten anything since this morning. I'm hungry, so make me breakfast. And make sure this doesn't happen again. What does she mean by "from now on"? The words "get ready" that Raymond mentioned earlier and mother-in-law's "from now on" phrase make me uneasy for some reason. I had a terrible feeling about this, feeling anxious about their comments. Mother-in-law pressures me to make breakfast. I apologize and start preparing the meal. Meanwhile, mother-in-law observes me, not even blinking. It feels more like monitoring than observing. Maybe it's hard to do under her piercing gaze. Silently and earnestly, I prepare the breakfast. Suddenly, mother-in-law says, "It's pitiful to think my son eats this poorly presented food every day. It looks terrible and probably tastes just as bad. I'd love to know how you managed to cook so poorly." She ridicules me, mockingly laughing and complaining. Why do I have to hear this first thing in the morning? What was supposed to be a pleasant morning feels as if it had turned into a downpour. Sorry for the wait. It took you long enough. How much time do you need for a meal like this? Maybe you should attend a cooking class. Then you might be able to cook something decent. Even then, it'd be like getting a D instead of an F. Having a meal along with my mother-in-law for the first time, seeing her stern face while eating, I lost my appetite, and the meal I put so much effort into tasted bland. Suddenly, my mother-in-law sat down her fork, stating, "I don't even feel like eating this. Clear it away." I'm sorry, I just can't take this anymore. I wish she'd leave sooner. But little did I know, my wish would be shattered in no time. Ring, ring. Excuse me for a moment. Hey, Mom's there, right? Let me talk to her, Raymond requested, handing the phone to my mother-in-law. After Raymond's request, she exclaimed, "You told me we'd discuss that matter, making me come over so early. Now you say you're at work. What's going on?" "Sorry, something came up. I'll be back before noon. Just relax till then." Hurry up. Being with her is just stressful. She ended the call with Raymond and returned the phone to me with a slight throw. Trying to ask what Raymond had said, she just glared and told me he'd be back before noon. 3 hours later, Raymond returned home and immediately asked her, "Sorry, Mom, so are you ready?" "Yes, just need to pack my things." Before I could process it, Raymond dropped a bombshell. "From now on, Mom will live here too." What? It was a shock. I always thought it would be just the two of us living here, but now my mother-in-law will be moving in. The mere thought of my mother-in-law coming here terrifies me. Living a life constantly getting snide remarks from Raymond and my mother-in-law every day, I just can't bear the thought of it. "Mom, I'll help you move on my next day off." "That would be helpful, but don't bring her along. We don't need someone useless." "Don't worry, it'll just be me." The shocking twist left my mind blank. unable to process anything. That evening, Raymond and his mom went out for dinner alone. I pondered our future. How would I coexist with the two of them? Was I just supposed to endure everything, or was there another way? The same thoughts kept replaying, but no answers came. Lost in my despair, tears spilled when suddenly, ring ring, a phone call. Wiping away my tears, I answered, and the voice on the other end was, oh, a call from the most unexpected person. The familiar voice echoed in my ear when I picked up the phone. Mom, it's been a while. Eric, it has indeed. Have you been well? Yeah, I'm good. Granddad and Granny are also doing well. We're all getting along. It was my son, Eric, on the other end. After graduating from college, Eric took a job at a company near our family home. Because his work was close, he had chosen to live with his grandparents away from us. When will you come to visit? It's been years since you last did. The two of them really want to see you. I'm sorry, I've been so busy and just couldn't make it to the family home. Busy with what? Isn't it because of Dad and Grandmother? He hit the nail on the head. The reason? The reason I couldn't visit was indeed because of those two. Raymond didn't like the idea of me visiting my parents. As a homemaker, Raymond only sees me as a mere housekeeper. He has this ridiculous notion that I should always be taking care of the home, and his mother shared the same view. She too only saw me as a convenient housekeeper, always expecting me to tend to the house. So I felt trapped, unable to leave and just living within the confines of our home. It felt like I was a bird caged up. Eric knew this. He once visited this house and remembered the words Raymond and mother-in-law had hurled at me. Aren't you a homemaker? Then you need to do your household duties properly. A housekeeper who can't even do chores is useless anywhere. Be grateful you're even needed here by us. It was then that Eric first realized the treatment I was getting from the two of them. I thought as much. I'm sorry for making you worry. Listen, Mom, I have an idea. Then Eric suggested something unexpected. It was something I hadn't ever considered. Really? Are you serious? Of course. It's to help you, Mom. While it might seem obvious, Eric's words became the lifeline I needed for my hellish life. From the next day, while Raymond was at work, I started implementing what Eric had told me to do, being cautious not to let Raymond notice and always vigilant for the often unexpectedly appearing mother-in-law. There were a few close calls. Hey, have you been up to something lately? Why do you ask? Mom mentioned it. She said you've been acting differently. You're not cheating on me, are you? Last time, Raymond's ridiculous misunderstanding saved me, but I can't underestimate my mother-in-law. She's sharp. I need to be more careful and not let my guard down around her. Still, it's clear that Raymond doesn't really care about me. Well, that's fine. It actually makes things easier for me. In fact, it's a relief. I can't wait to see how they'll react to what comes next. Ring ring. Mom, how far along are you with the preparations? I've got everything ready and I've made a lot of progress. Now we just wait for the day. Speaking of which, do you know when Grandmother is moving in? She's moving in the day after tomorrow. I overheard them talking about it when they were in a good mood. I have to make sure they pay for everything they've done to me. The climax is approaching. The morning my mother-in-law is set to arrive. Don't slack off just because I'm not around. Also, help Mom with the luggage when she gets here and keep the house clean. Mom said she won't forgive even a speck of dust. I understand. After seeing Raymond off, I start the final preparations. Then the doorbell rings. Good morning, Mom. Eric, I'm sorry, but can you help me? Of course, let's get this done quickly before Grandmother arrives. With Eric's help, we finalize everything, and 30 minutes later, we're ready. All right, let's go. I hop into Eric's car, and we head to a certain place. Ring ring. Hello, the moment has arrived. Raymond and mother-in-law have tormented me endlessly. I don't even know how many tears I've shed or how much pain I've endured. Yet I've persisted, trying my best as a homemaker. But Raymond never seemed to care about my struggles, and he decided to move in with his mother without discussing it with me. Is Mom all settled in? Of course she is. But guess what? Yes, she's all settled, and I've just finished moving back to my parents' home. What? Back to your parents? Raymond's panic was evident even over the phone. But that's not the end of it. He's got a lot coming his way. I delivered the final blow to Raymond today, the day we get divorced. The divorce papers already filled out with your name are on the table when you get home. All you need to do is sign and take them to the courthouse, just to make sure there's no delay. I've arranged for a lawyer to accompany you. The lawyer will also discuss the division of our assets. Raymond, taken aback, blurted out, "Wait, what are you talking about? Divorce? Are you kidding me? No matter what you say, it won't change my mind. Oh, by the way, we don't have a single cent in our savings." "What? That can't be true. I've been contributing every month." "Yes, but your dear mother gambled all that money away. We have nothing left. What I suggest is that you and your mother figure things out. Good luck." Right after ending the call with Raymond, his mother showed up at the house, arms laden with bags, enthusiastically ringing the doorbell. I didn't answer. Infuriated, she yelled, "Hey, open up. How long are you going to keep me waiting out here? Open the damn door, you wretched woman." Screaming and swearing at the front door attracted the attention of a passerby. They suspected her of causing trouble and called the police. In just a few minutes, officers arrived and took her away. About 30 minutes later, a distraught Raymond, unable to focus on his work after hearing the news, rushed home, but I was nowhere to be seen. The only thing waiting for him was the divorce papers on the table. The sight left him completely speechless, and he just sat down, devastated. 2 hours later, the lawyer arrived and accompanied a despondent Raymond to the courthouse to submit the divorce papers. At last, our divorce was finalized. The next day, after being released from police custody, Raymond's mother came home only to find her son deeply affected by the shock of the divorce. Although Raymond had planned to live with her, the trauma of the divorce made him take a leave from work, and a month later, he resigned. With no income, he had to sell the new house they had just built. They managed to get by with the money from the sale, but his gambling-addicted mother depleted it all. Rumor has it they now live like homeless people in a nearby park. After the divorce, I began to live peacefully at my parents' house. The money from the sale of the house came to me as well. With that money, I commented, "This place is lovely." Yeah, it's a popular resort hotel these days. I was on vacation with my family, finally free from the nightmare. I could live my life on my own terms. That joy is unparalleled.